friends, welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far, and I hope the weather is as beautiful by you as it is here by me. We are in the perfect fall weather right now. It is absolutely wonderful. I hope everybody had a nice, safe, and fun Halloween. We didn't do too much here. We did have some trick-or-treaters, not a whole lot. I'm going to say like 50, maybe 100, nothing too crazy. But then Mr. Wizard and I went out for dinner, which was nice, but nothing too crazy. The dressing up, the Halloween parties, just not our style anymore, but that's okay. I hope you guys had a fantastic holiday and had lots of fun with your trick-or-treaters. Today we're going to be we're bringing a project back on the channel that's kind of been off the channel for a little while, and that was our Resilient project. You guys may remember it. It turned out it was one single block, lots of half square triangles, but one single block, but every single block in the quilt was different. It's the exact same pattern but the fabrics within the block were all different. So we had to make a color chart so that we could make sure that we weren't using the same fabrics in the same places. And it really turned out beautiful. And it showcased the fabrics that we chose just absolutely so well. And I've had it sitting kind of in the background for a little while. But we're going to be bringing that back out because we're going to be putting some borders on it, and then I'm going to send it off to the long arm, and then we're going to get some binding on it. So we're going to get it finished up. So I'm really excited for that. So you'll see it at least today, maybe one more time, depending on how much of this we get done. And then it'll go off to the long arm, and when it comes back, we'll be putting a binding on it. So I'm really excited about that. Now, the fabrics that I chose for this project are fabrics that I picked up when we were visiting Quilt Town over the summer. And I think I showed those to you guys a long time ago when I showed you my haul when we did that fun trip. But I will show them again to you today. You can see I have a couple of them laid out already here. So we'll go through those and I'll show them to you. I'll also bring out, of course, I'll have to bring out the quilt top to show you guys again what that was looking like as well. But we are going to need to iron up these fabrics, cut them, and then go ahead and get them sewn on. Now, I'm sorry for being just a couple minutes late getting in. I was trying to find some thread to go with for my binding, because I wanted to make sure that the thread that I chose was not something that was going to be too contrasting. And the green threads that I have are either really bright or really dark, and they're just not going to work for the binding fabric that I've chosen for this project. So let me hop into chat really quickly, say hello to everybody there, and then we're going to get started with today's project. I do want to give a quick special shout out to all of our new subscribers. We've gotten quite a few new subscribers over the last couple weeks. I'm not sure how or why or when, and it doesn't really matter. I just want to make sure that they know that they are welcome on this channel. So thank you so much if you're a brand new subscriber. I truly appreciate that. Hopefully you're in chat with us today, or hopefully you're watching the live stream today. Make sure you say hi in chat, so that we can officially welcome you to the channel, because I love doing things like that. And I don't think Lucas is going to be able to join us this morning. He is in town, but I think he's spending time with his family. But if he does hop in and you are new to the channel, we'll make sure to get you hooked up with some extra thimbles as well. Brat46 was the very first person in chat this morning. Good morning, Brat46. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Sunday morning to you. Looks like Rita is celebrating 1 month of membership. Thank you so much, Rita, for celebrating that 1 month of membership. I appreciate it. Hearts in chat for Rita, folks. Hearts in chat for celebrating that 1 month of membership. But Brat46 was the very first person in chat, and boy, was she early. This says she was there at 6:05 this morning. So thanks so much, Brat46. We did have a time change here in the Midwest. In the Midwest, so we did have a time change, and then also it's the first Sunday of the month for me. And if you guys have been members or subscribers of this channel or watchers of this channel, then you know the first Sunday of every month we do a virtual breakfast with all of our kids. Mr. Wizard and I have 5 girls. They are all of adult age now. But we still do a virtual breakfast once a month just to kind of reconnect. They're kind of all over the place. And this helps us all kind of reconnect and get back acquainted. So we had a great breakfast this morning. A couple of our daughters weren't able to make it for various reasons, and that's okay. Life happens. It is what it is. Life happens. Susan Yearout is also celebrating, looks like 11 months of membership. So thank you, Susan, so much for that. I appreciate that as well. Hearts in chat for Susan also, please. Hearts in chat for Susan. So that's why we were running a little bit late this morning. That's why we had a little bit of a delay. So thanks for all of that. I really appreciate you guys hanging in with me for that. Looks like Carrie Leonard was also here early this morning. Good morning, Carrie. Thank you so much for being here. Linda Denton was also here. Sandra is also here as well. Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Susan Eurout was here this morning. She said good morning to the early birds. I love it. Thank you so much for being here. Fern King is also here. Thank you, Fern, for being here this morning. Happy Sunday morning to you also. I just hit a button. I didn't want to hit a button. There we go. Carrie Quilts is here. Good morning, Carrie. Thanks so much for being here. Happy Sunday morning to you also. Looks like you guys were talking about weddings this morning. That's awesome. I love this conversations that we have in chat. Like, some of the topics are just completely random, and I absolutely love it. It's just so nice. So happy anniversary. It looks like somebody's anniversary was on Halloween, so happy anniversary to them. That's very exciting. Halloween weddings are always fun. I love fall weddings, winter weddings. They're just always so much fun. They're one of my favorite times of the year. Sorry, guys. Still scrolling through chat. Terry, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. She says she'll be back in a few. She needs breakfast. Happy November. Happy Sunday. If you have a gambling problem, LOL. Exactly. I do know that our moderator, Kathy, is not feeling very well today. She did send me a message, and Sandra also sent me something in chat. So I'm really sorry to hear that she's not feeling very well. She did send me a note. I told her to take care of herself. Don't worry about our channel. I appreciated the fact that she let me know, but she needs to take care of herself first. Health is way more important than anything that's happening here in this channel. So we are thinking about her. We're wishing her well. Hope everything goes okay. Patty, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Good morning. Sylvia is also here this morning. Good morning, Sylvia. Thanks so much for being here. Joyce Hernandez, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. So great to see you all as well. I'm just still scrolling through chat here, folks. You guys have been real chatty this morning, which is fantastic. I love it when you guys are chatty. But it does take me an extra minute to get through. And that's okay. Mary H is also here. Good morning, Mary. It is so great to see you again. Welcome back. Susan said she had 24 kids show up. Well, that's still pretty good. That's decent. My Mama Joyce, it lives in a newerish neighborhood. The houses in her neighborhood are newly built. Of course, she's been there, I think she's been there at least 20 years now. But it's a fairly newer neighborhood. Lots of younger families, younger families. And so she would get between 200 and 300 kids by her. And she's like, forget it. I can't afford it anymore. So she doesn't give out candy anymore. Rita, good morning again. Welcome back. Just totally scrolled up on me, so give me a second here, guys. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Mary H, I said hello to you. Patty, Fern, hi baby, I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Susan says she got the first part of her Christmas present done yesterday. Well, that is awesome, Susan. Congratulations on that. That's an accomplishment. My goodness. I haven't even thought about Christmas. Haven't even thought about it. No, haven't even thought about it. All right. Puppy cam. That's right. Yes, she's on the puppy cam. What is all over your face? Come here. Come here. She says no. Can you come here? Not until you give me a treat, Mom. She's got something on her face. Got potatoes. They got potatoes. I don't know if that's supposed to be funny or not, but for me, it's a lot of fun. It sounds like fun. Hi, Judy. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. So good to see you as well. I don't do candy either. Well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Candy is not a requirement. Not a requirement. All right, so let's get back to our... Okay, fine. She's going to harass me. I just know it. So I'll give her one. I'll give her one. Come here. Can I get the thing off your face now? No. You gotta come. You see? Come here. You got fuzzies. Come. Come here. Come here. What is all over your face? There. I got the fuzzies and you got the treat. Guess they ran out of apples? Yeah, that would be weird, right? That would be funny. That's a good one. Yeah, apple instead of potatoes. That'd be funny. I know a lot of people like to give out little toys. I think that might have been what Mama Joyce does now. She gives out little like dollar toys. So, okay, so resilience. Let me show you guys kind of what we got going on here. This is how I store my projects once a quilt top is done. Everything kind of goes into a Ziploc instead of in a project bin. Okay, so here's the top. I'm not going to unwrap the whole thing because we're going to need to do that later, but I'll at least give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. Refresh your memory. This is what it looks like. Okay. The fabric the line that we chose was Anne of Green Gables, so there's lots of greens and purples and pinks in here. And so for the backing fabric, I chose this beautiful deep purple. Not this one. I chose this one here. It's this beautiful deep purple. It's got some nice big flowers on it. So I figured it went right along with the other fabrics. I don't know if you guys can see the other fabrics have nice flowers on them. So this is what I chose for the backing fabric. So I'm really excited about that. And then I've been sitting here for the last half an hour now trying to figure out which fabrics I purchased for which things. Because I couldn't remember. I actually had to pull out the calculator to make sure that I was going to have enough. So I think what I've done, is I've bought this darker fabric here. It's like a brownish colored, and it's really teeny tiny, but there's like little pink flowers with some green stems in here. And I thought that's going to go really well with it. I think I bought this to go as a small border around the outside. So like a thin, like a 2-inch, maybe 3-inch border around the outside. And then I bought this fabric, which is these it's a purples. It's two-tone purples, but it's got these really tiny little flowers on it. It's more like a vine than a flower. I bought that to go as a chunky border around the outside. So probably like a 4-inch or a 5-inch border. And then I bought this as my binding fabric, which is a green, and it's got green like flowers and vines. My only problem with this whole setup is that I only seem to have bought a small amount of fabric for the binding. Now I've done the math, and if I do a 2-inch, well, 2.5, cut it 2.5, then it turns out to be 2-inch. Terry says, "Hi, Ivy." There she is. If I do a 2-inch with this darker colored, and then I do a 4-inch with this one, I would need a half a yard of fabric for binding, and I think that's exactly what I have here. So it's going to be really close. I probably should have bought a little bit more for the binding. And so then I thought about it, well, what if I switched it out? What if I did this green is the 2-inch border, since I only need a smaller amount for the 2-inch border, and then use this brown for the binding, or this darkish brownish green color for the binding instead, which I could do, but I just don't like the look of it. I feel like it's just too dark. So like up against this, because this is the backing, this would be the binding, and then this would be that other border. And I just feel like that's just too dark around the outside that I was looking for. I think I like this green as the binding better. So I think there's going to be enough fabric here because I actually measured it. And instead of it being an 18-inch piece, it's actually a 20-inch piece. So there should be enough here. But it's going to come down to the wire. This fabric, somebody was asking me about it. This fabric is it's by Henry Glass Fabrics, and it is called Flossy Flowers by Janet Nesbitt. So it's not a popular brand name, but it's really pretty. Look at it. You guys see that? It's just so pretty. And so I'm gonna trust my judgment, and I'm gonna trust my measurements, and I'm going to pray that it's right. So worst case scenario, if it turns out that we're short, what I can also do is I will probably have extra of one of these two pieces, and I can use one of these two if I really have to. A flange piece. Yeah, Brett 46. I thought about that too. I thought, well, maybe I could do it as a flange piece with one of these other two purples, which very well could happen as well. So for right now, I'm gonna commit to these two fabrics being the borders, and I'm gonna worry about the binding when it comes time to worry about the binding, because I'm not gonna stress about it, because otherwise I will make myself crazy stressing about it and trying to figure out if it's gonna work. So that's what we're gonna do today. So this morning, first things first, I need to iron up these fabrics so that I can cut them. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. Now I am going to iron them in half for now. And then when we go to actually lay them out, I will iron out the creases again. I did have my iron on. But so that's what we're going to be doing this morning. So yeah, I've got some options here with regards to the binding. It's, it's not a huge deal. Worst case scenario, I have to run to the cold store and buy something different. I'm not too worried about it. I've done the math and I think I should be okay with it. But you just never know with things. So we're going to cut this one. So I have so much of this one. I don't know why I bought so much of it, but we're going to cut this one into 2.5 inch strips. For the border, I'll probably only need like 6 strips for this. So we're going to cut this one for a 2-inch border, and then we're going to cut this one here for I'm thinking a 5-inch is what I'm thinking for this. I'm thinking a 5-inch border for that. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, good. So how is everybody's weekend going so far? Have you done anything fun? Any fun Halloween parties? I know a couple of you joined me for my Thursday live stream and you had some Halloween parties and things you were headed off to. So that was really fun. How did those go? I hope they went well. I know there's a lot of families and stuff that are doing the trunk or treats nowadays instead of the door-to-door, which, is definitely a safer option for most, for sure. Especially for the little kids. That wasn't really a thing when my girls were little. It just wasn't really a thing when my kids were little. So we did the door to door, but my ex-husband used to go with them. Their dad would take them every year until they were teenagers and could go off on their own. There we go. So we're just going to iron these up real quick. They're kind of smallish pieces, so they shouldn't take us too long to iron up real quick. Sandra says, I'm cross-stitching, get it done mode. Okay, I understand that. Linda says, I've seen here in Kentucky where I live, they found glass in the candy. It's not safe for them to go out. Oh my gosh. Horrible people out there. Carrie says, I'm quilting. That's my fun. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yesterday, I picked up 2 of our quilts from the long arm. They look amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'll show you guys those once they're done. I'm going to have to put the bindings on those here soon. They're not really intended for anyone specific, so I kind of got time to do it. But one of them was our members only project that we brought on the channel. That one was called Heartstrings of Harmony. We did that one. And then the other one was shoot, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the pattern now, but it was the 3 stripes. So it was like 3 stripes this way, 3 stripes this way. That one. Those have both come back from the long arm. I picked them up yesterday. They look amazing. She did a really cool. So for the Heartstrings of Harmony project, the fabric line was a butterfly themed. It was this really pale purple butterfly themed fabric. And so she got a butterfly pattern, a quilting pattern to go along with it, which I thought was really, really cool. So I really liked that. And then for the other one, which I wish I could remember what the name of it was now. Somebody help me out here. For that other one, she chose these really pretty, because it's very geometric. It was just these lines that go this way and this way. It's very geometric. So she chose to do some like whimsical flowers. Well, we chose. She picked out a couple of options for me, and then I chose from those options. But we did this really pretty whimsical flower quilting. It looks amazing. She does such a fantastic job. Yes, the butterflies were really pretty. Really, really pretty. If I remember, I'll try to post some pictures of that in our Facebook group. I am terrible at posting pictures of anything because I just don't remember the camera. Like, pictures have just never been my thing. Like, they've just never been my thing. They've never been like, oh yeah, I need to grab the camera and take pictures of things. It's just not part of my normal routine for, some people are great about cameras. We had this aunt, my ex-husband's aunt was amazing with a camera. Like, she always had the camera out taking pictures, and so it's because of her that we have so many great pictures of the girls growing up, because I did not take any of them. I did not take any of those pictures, so she does a great job of documenting all that stuff. A lot more so than I've ever been able to do. Because I'm in the moment, I'm living in the moment. I'm not thinking about, I want to be able to relive this moment later on, And so I got to get better at that. And for those of you who are content creators, I wanted to let you know, I saw a posting on Instagram yesterday that Riley Blake Fabrics has opened up their influencers program for 2026. They are currently accepting applications through like the second or third week in November. Oh, Mary, congratulations on redeeming a random fact order. Congratulations on doing that. Those will likely go out at the end of November because I only had a couple of them for October. So those will likely go out in November when I get a few more of them together. Okay, so now this one is all ironed up and ready to go. Just gonna... I know, I'm going to iron it and now I'm going to fold it again. Go figure. And I'm just going to set that off to the side for a minute so we can iron up this one, and then that way we can kind of put the iron away for a little while. Danny, not taking pictures isn't so bad. I think I miss a lot of things because I'm looking through the camera lens better to enjoy the moment. Yeah, I agree with that too, but it would be nice to have some of those pictures. Some of those moments captured, for sure. But yeah, I do have a tendency to kind of live in the moment as opposed to remembering to capture it. But I'm grateful to the family members that I have that are really good at that, because like that way I don't really need to worry about it because I know they're doing it. Especially with the girls' milestones, like graduations and birthday parties and things like that. Gladys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Happy Sunday morning to you. Happy November to you as well. I don't think I've ever seen a salvage this chunky. Like, this salvage is almost 3/4 of an inch big. I don't think I've ever seen one that big. This is by Marcus Fabrics. It's got a nice feel to it. When I'm looking for fabrics, when I'm in a quilting store and I'm looking at fabrics and I'm looking for something, specific to match up to a project or whatever, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really pay any attention to name brands. Like, it doesn't, I don't care. Like, name brands just are not that important to me. I'm looking at, the print, obviously the print. And then I'm also feeling it. Like, what does it feel like? Is it really stiff? Is it really soft? Does it feel like it's going to be, do my fingers turn colors? That kind of thing. That's really what I'm paying attention to. I'm not really paying attention to, which brand what brand name is this? What color line is this? It's just not really something I'm usually paying any attention to. Don't get me wrong, I do have my favorite fabric lines. Moda is one of my favorites. The Grunge by Moda is one of my absolute favorite lines of fabric, because I feel like it goes with just about everything. But I'm not always, it just depends on what I'm looking at. Like this fabric, this quilt top, the Grunge, it would have just been too, it wouldn't have gone with it. You really needed something with a pattern to go with this for sure. So that's why I was in the flower store in Quilt Town looking at the flower fabric for this one. Go. Sylvia says, I have to shop mostly online. I'm shocked sometimes how stiff fabric is. Yeah. I mean, I do shop a lot online. I do a lot of online shopping as well. I'm grateful that I do have a quilt store that is fairly close to me, so I'm able to kind of go touch it, but she doesn't have everything. There are some things that I have to go online for. And I agree with you. There are some fabrics that I'm just shocked at how stiff they are and how much different of a feel they have to them. It's like, what do they do to these that makes them feel like this? Is it part of the dyeing process? When the ink dries, is it really, is it really that saturated that it's making it almost crunchy, or a rough texture to it? It's amazing sometimes how that happens. I do not like stiff fabrics. Hard to work with. And there's a difference between like starched stiff and like actual stiff fabric. It's just it can give your quilt a different feel for sure. Excuse me. I'm working with a client right now who's trying to finish an antique quilt top that she has from many years ago. I think she said 40 or 50 years old. And she's trying to get it finished. She's not doing the work herself. She's gonna work with my long arm and I to get it finished for her. But right now we've been trying to pick out a backing fabric color that will work for the quilt top she's got. And she's looking for a solid color, which you guys know yourself, solids are difficult to find as it is, but then she's looking for a very specific shade of lilac purple to go on this quilt, and it's proving to be a bit of a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge. In fact, I just purchased some Riley Blake confetti cottons solids for her to try out, because the ones that I had from Moda were too dark. The ones that I could find from Moda were just too dark. So Terry says, I see that green fabric on Etsy if you need more. Oh, Terry, if you could email me the link to that would be great, because if I can find it, I might buy another half yard of it just to have it as a backup, because that would be amazing. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind emailing me that link, you'd be a lifesaver, like an absolute lifesaver, because then that way I would take the stress away, and I wouldn't have to worry about it. That would be amazing. Thank you. And you know what? If it turns out I end up with extra, it just goes into the scrap bin for you guys. Or for our members. So, not a big deal. That is what I do with the extras for all of our projects. Is once the project is completed, all of the scraps go into my scrap bin here that I have. It's actually a dresser drawer. And then those scrap, at least once, sometimes twice a year, I will divide them up amongst all of into boxes for all of our members. and you guys get a box of scrap fabrics from me. You do have to be a member for at least 3 months in order to be eligible for those boxes, because the boxes can be a little expensive with regards to postage. So the 3-month membership helps to pay for that. At least the Thumbelina and the Fat Quarter members, if you become an expert, you're instantly in. An expert member, you're instantly part of those groups, because that is the most expensive of the 3 membership options. So I was looking in my drawer yesterday for all my scraps because I need to start getting those boxes together. I promised you guys I will have those boxes out by December. My scrap boxes are not just little cut pieces. They're pieces of yardage. They're leftover fat quarters. They're leftover charm pieces. Whatever has been left over from our projects. I don't, unfortunately, have enough time to work with scrap pieces. I barely have enough time to work on the projects that we have. So... and I don't want them to just sit there collecting dust forever. So that's why I prefer to give them away to our members so they can utilize them for things. And I've gotten a lot of messages from a lot of our members about them using those pieces for a variety of different things, which I think is amazing. I'm so grateful that they're able to use them for things. Thank you, Terry. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. My background noise sounds like a heartbeat. Oh, are you talking the music, maybe? It could be the music. The music's been weird lately. It did have a little bit of a beat to it, you're right. I bet this is what you're thinking. Yes, it is kind of a little bit of a heartbeat, isn't it? Alright, so our fabric is now ironed up, both sides. I know I have this hard crease here in the fold, but we'll take care of that later. Let's go ahead and fold this up for right now. Hi, baby. I see you. Where'd she go? She was just in here, wasn't she? Oh, I see her. She's all the way over there. I see her. She's over there. Yep, that's it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird music tonight. Or this morning. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't really have control over the music. It's just kind of random. And they have stations you can choose from, but they're really not. No problem, Susan. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this morning. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. All right, so now we can do that. Let's go ahead and fold that. All right, so I folded it in half. I'll use that fold as my solid straight line here. Ooh, that didn't work very well, did it? Yeah. Yeah. Do that again, shall I? Go. Make sure that it lines up there. There we go. That's better. All right. There we go. All right. Bye, Ivy. She's so cute. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing these. I'm gonna cut these in 2.5-inch strips. This first cut, I've got a little bit of extra here, so I'm gonna give myself a little bit of wiggle room there. Excuse me. There we go. And this should be a fairly new blade because I just changed it out the last time we were working with it, so it should be fairly new. But I'll probably have to change it again. There's one. That one will need to be trimmed in just a minute. Two. I'm going to cut 6 or 7 of these just to make sure that I have enough. Usually when I'm doing a binding, I'll cut at least 6. So we'll try to use that rule of thumb here. There's 3. Let me go ahead and trim this one up. So I'm cutting these at 2.5 inches because then there'll be a 1/4 inch on either side, so it'll give us a nice 2-inch border. I didn't want to do anything too crazy, too chunky. I kind of wanted to keep this one a little bit on the thinner side. I could have went even thinner than a 2-inch if I wanted to, but I just kind of wanted to break it up a little bit. Make sure those line up on the line. So I got 4. We'll cut 4 more. One. 2. 3. Now the good news is whatever we don't finish up today with regards to this project, we'll end up finishing up on Wednesday during our Work with Wednesday live stream, because we will have a live stream on Wednesday. So if we don't finish it up today, that's okay, because we're going to finish it up on Wednesday. And if we finish it up on Wednesday, well, then we're probably going to start on the binding for one of these other projects that I just picked up from the long arm. We got plenty of stuff to keep us busy, that's for sure. All right, so that gives us 8 strips. That should be more than enough to go around this quilt. The quilt is only 52 by 52, so that should give us more than enough. And so I'm just going to set this fabric off to the side. And if we don't end up needing any more of this fabric, then this whole cut will go into our scrap busters boxes. It'll just be gifted to somebody just like this. Or maybe we'll use it for some of the binding. We'll see. No, Sylvia, we have them set up with limits. The Gamble all is set up with a limit. I think it's like 500 or 1500 or 2500 or I forget what the actual numbers are, but we do have them set up on a limit so that you don't lose everything. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim all of these off, the salvage edges on all of these off at the same length. And then we're going to sew them all up together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, most of the time with borders, you're going to do, you're going to cut them the one long piece, and then so that you don't have any seams. With me, what I like to do is I kind of treat them the same way as a binding, in that I cut them all one length. I cut them all, and then I sew them all up into one big long length, and then I just attach them that way. I know that's not how everybody does their binding or the borders. I mean, to each his own. Some people will cut them the width of the fabric, or not the width, but the length of the fabric so that they get the correct amount. That's completely up to you if that's what you want to do. This is just how I do it. Go. All the salvage edges are gone now, so now we can just sew this all up into one long length. There we go. So we will do that here in just a minute, but first let's go ahead and cut up our other pieces of fabric as well. So I'll set those off to the side for right now. How do you guys do your borders? Do you cut them the length of your fabric so that it's just one piece, or do you have seams when you do your borders? Do you not worry about your seams? How do you guys handle it? Go this way so you can see it. So, same thing. Some people don't like to fold their fabric because sometimes you end up with this little bump where the fold is. I understand that. I have limited space here, so I kind of have to do things a little differently. Making sure that it's lining up the way it's supposed to. Oh, okay. The neighbor's going to be loud and obnoxious. That's great. Sorry about that if you could hear that. With loud and obnoxious neighbors sometimes. Especially when the weather's nice, we get loud and obnoxious neighbors. Really loud cars, really loud motorbikes. The neighbor next door to us has a work van with an alarm system on it, and so they like to. Their game is they drive by and they try and rev the engine to set the alarm off. It's annoying. Depends on the solid of the print and how big the prints are. That's fair. That's fair. Hi, Katie. Good evening. Or I guess not good evening. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Maybe for you it's evening. I did one quilt length, and now I've decided to use the width of the fabric. Yeah, Mary, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm kind of that way too. When is the bear coming back out? The bear is coming back out the weekend before Thanksgiving. We will be finishing up the memory bear the weekend before Thanksgiving because that is also the weekend of my dad's birthday. My dad's birthday would have been that Saturday, and so we're going to be working on it that Sunday. Afternoon. Okay. But yeah, so that's when the bear will be back out. So 2 weeks, I think. All right. So let's go ahead and... Now this one I want to do a 5-inch border. So I'm actually going to give the first chunk here a little bit. So in order to do 5-inch, I have to cut it at 5.5. So let's do that. You have to remember to cut 5.5. So this first one is a little bit bigger than 5.5 because I wanted to give myself get that clean selvage off. So let's do 5.5 now. There we go. There's our first one. So we're going to have, oops, I forgot they were all connected. So we're going to have that one, and then we're going to have that one next to it like that. And then we'll have this green as the binding on the purple there. That is the plan. So there's 2. Probably gonna need well, we'll see how many we get. 3. I cut 8 strips of the other one. I'm almost positive I'm not going to need all 8 strips. I probably will only need 5 strips, but I cut 8 just to be on the safe side. Because I don't measure, I just cut. Hi, baby girl. Got warm in here all of a sudden. That one. Taylor's cooking something in the kitchen. Taylor is home this weekend. It's the first weekend she's been home in a while. She's been working so much lately, which is good. You know, keeping busy, making a paycheck. You know, that's great. But she actually has the next 2 days off in a row, which she's all excited about. She hasn't had 2 days off in a row in a long time. Her new job, she seems to be liking her new job really well. It does require her to travel quite a bit, by car, not by plane. But she doesn't seem to be minding it too much. She's kind of used to road trips from, you know, when she was a kid and things, so it doesn't seem to bother her all that much, which is good. Okay, so that's 6. Congratulations, Fern, on redeeming your thimbles in for another fat quarter. I will add that to your envelope that I think you already have one going, so I'll make sure to add that to your envelope. Sylvia, no problem. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this morning. I appreciate it. Dawn says she's getting lunch. She'll be right back. No problem, Dawn. We appreciate you being here. My blade is starting to get dull. I'll need one more cut. One more. This is probably more than enough for what I actually need it to be for, but we'll go ahead and trim it to this anyway. Go, and then this is extra. All right, so same thing as before. Let me lay these out real quick so we can trim off the edges. And then we're going to go ahead and start adding these to our quilt top. go. But yeah, this morning we had a virtual breakfast with our kids, which was nice. Like I said, a couple of them couldn't make it for various reasons, and that's okay. It's fine. We understand. It's not a requirement, you know. They don't have to be there. Got to catch up with Taylor's boyfriend, Taylor's boyfriend. He's in a new apartment right now. He lives downtown. So we got to see his new apartment, which was kind of nice. I don't know how I ended up with an odd number. That's weird. It was not accounted correctly. This is a pretty thick piece here that we're going to be cutting off, so I'm a little worried about it. But we'll try and make it work. I'll just go slow. There we go. Perfect. All right. There we go. Yeah, I think I cut one too many. That's all right. No worries. It is what it is. I'm certain I won't need them all, but rather than measuring, I'm just going to do it anyway. Because I'll probably only need 5 for each, but I cut 8, so it's fine. Just means more scraps for our scrap busters, that's all. So, all right, so let's go ahead and sew these up together now. What new? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and sew these up. I'm just going to do a straight stitch sewing on the seams. If I was doing a binding, then it would be a on the bias so that the seams weren't there. But for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and straight stitch sew them. But I was online today, and that's why I said I was a little bit late. I was online today looking for some thread to work for our binding. Because all the thread I have in green is going to be either too dark or too light. And I'm trying to, I try to mask the binding thread as much as I can. So I've bought 3 different colors of green, like olive green or forest greens, to see if there's one I like best. And then I'll hang on to the other 3 for various projects. I usually use a lot of green thread, so I did have a green that I was using for this project, but I must have used it all because I can't find it anymore. So I must have used it all. And it was like the perfect shade of like greenish brown. It was like an olive. Perfect green color. Should have kept it, used it for the binding instead of piecing it. But that's all right. Lessons learned, Lessons learned. Football starting soon, she says. See you next time. No worries, Fern. We appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Have a great rest of your weekend. Congratulations to... Mr. Wizard told me this morning and I already forgot, but whichever team it was that won the World Series, congratulations to them. He told me yesterday, he told me this morning and I already forgot. I do not remember who it was. I want to say LA, but I think that might be wrong. All right, so let's go ahead and pull these apart now. Okay. Go ahead and iron up the seams real quick. And then we can attach these to our quilt top. Oops. Got these hard lines here from when we ironed it up before, so I'm just going to iron those down real quick. And then to put the borders on, we're going to do top and bottom and then the two sides. And all I do is I just iron up till I get to the end. I cut it and then I flip it and I do the next one. That's just how I do it. I know that a lot of directions tell you to measure it and then, iron it on, put it on there. And if that's how you prefer to do yours, then go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. That's the way the directions say to do it, so that's probably the way that you should do it. This is just the way that I do it, because I find this to be easier for me. But, you do you, Exactly, Carrie. You do what works best for you. And that's the great thing about this hobby is there's really no right or wrong answer to it. You do whatever works best for you. I'm not here to tell you that you're doing it right or doing it wrong. That's not my job. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is not about doing things right or wrong, because if that were the case, then, well, by golly, I'd be doing it all wrong. I'd be doing all of it wrong. But no, this channel is about, sharing things with friends, spending time with friends, and then making some fun projects in the process. So I am not going to be here telling you that you're doing something wrong, right or wrong, because we all do it differently. Good night, Joyce. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this afternoon. I appreciate it. I know this isn't exactly our normal time frame. Plus, with the time change, everything's kind of wonky, so I get that. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. I feel like fabric is like clay. Work at it as your hands see fit. Yeah, I agree with you, Terry. I agree. Yeah, 100%. That's what a hobby is supposed to be about. I agree. Just gotta take this. Who's it from? I got your email, Terry. Thank you. Thank you. That's gonna save me a little bit of anxiety. I'll go ahead and pick up that extra half yard in fabric, and then that way I don't have to worry about it. I'm sure I won't need it, but I'd rather have it on hand just in case than have to try to scramble to find it later. So I really appreciate you finding that for me. That's right, Terry. The right way is how it works for you and having fun. 100%. That is 100% true. Okay, so here is this one now. So I think, now we could always sew and iron up the other one together, and then have them both ready to go. But I think that for my own sanity, I'm going to go ahead and sew this one on first, just to get it on the quilt and off of the table. So that we're not completely losing our minds here. So let's go ahead and lay that one there for now. I don't need these. I'll leave them down here. Quilt top is not huge, but big enough. So let's give ourselves some space here. That there. I don't even have this on today. Let's go this way so we don't hurt ourselves. All right, so here is our quilt top. So you guys are going to kind of get to see what it looks like as I open it up. All the beautiful fabrics. It's just amazing. Now this is 52 by 52, so it's square, so there really isn't any top or bottom. It's just how the fabric is laying, and the points of the stars point up, so that's how I know that that's the top. So that's the one that I'm going to work with first. But you do you. I mean, you could just go around in a complete circle if you wanted to as well. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Whatever works best for you. This is just how I'm going to do it. But I am going to start edge to edge because we did cut off all those selvage edges, so we can start edge to edge. Turn my machine on so that it automatically does the back stitching for me and the cutting. And we're just going to go from one edge to the next. Why are you being dumb now? There we go. And this is just straight stitch sewing, just long length straight stitch sewing. So as long as I don't stretch anything and I'm just kind of holding it, it should go pretty quickly. Go ahead and turn the machine up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Just gonna go ahead and stitch this on. And I really feel like this, because this quilt is so busy with all the different fabrics, I'm hoping that by putting these borders on, it's really going to frame things out for us so that it looks a little bit nicer. Someone apparently is playing the Sims game because I just got locked out. Must be Taylor. Go. Kind of holding it down here. This first border has a lot of seams that it's going to be sliding over because it's going over the edge of the blocks. The blocks have a lot of seams, so that's why I'm getting caught up a little bit. But the second border is going to attach to this border, so there will basically be almost no seams other than where the two pieces meet up, the two strips meet up. Go. Just about at the edge here. All right, so I've reached the one edge, so now I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut right along the edge of the quilt top. I'm going to cut the border fabric right at the edge of the quilt top so I get a nice straight edge, and then I just start it on the opposite side. So now I've got that one done. Now I go over here to this one, to this side here, and start again. Like I said, this is how I do borders. Everybody does them differently. Everybody does them the way that works best for them. And this way may not work for you, and that's okay. That's, you know, if you prefer to measure and cut them the exact length, and that's completely up to you. That is completely up to you. You do you, however it works best for you. This is how I do me. There we go. Sorry, I got to cover my screen. There we go. That's better. That's better. Anybody have any fun plans for this week? We will have a live stream on Wednesday this week. It's a Whip Wednesday, so just a nice relaxing afternoon. We do not have a members only live stream this week. I think that's next week. Hang on a minute. There's something else on the calendar for Thursday. I need to check my calendar. Something else is on Thursday, and I can't see what it is. I think I know what it is. I think it's personal. I don't think it's work. I don't think it's channel related, but let me just double check and make sure, because I don't want to give you guys the wrong information here. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, so we have a Whip Wednesday on Wednesday. Thursday I have dinner with my mom. That's what's showing up on Thursday. Next week we're back with Puppies Project, so that's gonna be fun. And we're gonna be doing our Spools of the Year project next week as well on Tuesday. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then our After Dark edition is next Saturday. Can you believe that already? My goodness. And Memory Bear Project is in 3 weeks. It's on the 23rd. So for those of you who are asking about that, that will be on the 23rd. There you go. But in case you guys, just a reminder to all my content creator friends, like I mentioned before, Riley Blake Fabrics has opened up their influencers program. They're looking for a couple of candidates for their new influencers program, if that's something that might interest you. It's definitely something that would interest me, but it seems like it would take a lot more time commitment than I'm able to give. But if that's something that you guys are able to do, check that out. I think their submissions are due in two or 3 days. I think it was like the 4th or the 7th of November. If you guys are interested in that. I love Riley Blake fabrics. They're beautiful. I mean, it's definitely something I would love to be able to do. I just can't really commit to that type of a time frame because of my full-time job, my corporate job. So it's not really something I'm able to do. There was information about it on their Instagram page. I'm sure it's on their website somewhere as well. And it says, do you do any sewing when you're not doing your videos? Not much. I'm a weekend warrior, Linda. I only do sewing on the weekends unless I have a live stream during the week. And then I will do some sewing, obviously, during the weekend on the live stream. But otherwise, I only sew on the weekends. And usually Saturday afternoons, I'm usually in here doing something, but not a whole lot. You know, I'm usually putzing around the house doing things or running errands or things like that. I've actually been trying to do more live streams during the week to try and force me to come in here to kind of help with stress relief. That's why I've been doing more during the week live streams recently this year. I've started doing more of them. And I'm going to continue to do them as well throughout the rest of this year and into next year. And a bunch of projects that we're going to be working on during the day or during the week. So I do some sewing on live streams during the week, but it's more for selfish reasons than anything else. It's not necessarily because I'm trying to get more views or anything like that. I am trying to reach out to more of our subscribers and try to be able to catch them, because I know not all of our subscribers are able to catch us on our Sunday stream. So I am trying to do that just so that I can connect with them as well. But I'm also doing it to kind of encourage myself to be in this room during the week. So, all right, so here's our first one. So I'm just going to go ahead and push this one up here like this so that we can get this side going. But I think that's working out really well. What do you guys think? See that border there? That nice dark colored border frame around it? I think that's going to work out really, really well. I think it's going to look really nice. You can go ahead and get this side going. Yeah, I think that's... My whole point of this was to kind of just break up the busy a little bit and just kind of be able to focus in on, you know, the fabric itself. Yeah, I think it's going to work out really well. I'm really happy with it. I'm happy with my choice, which is always a good thing when you're happy with the choices that you've made. Because sometimes, let's face it, sometimes we question ourselves. Like, uh-oh, is this really going to work? Do we really like this? You know? You know, holding the quilt top up against a bolt of fabric works okay, but once you get it cut into the small piece and you actually lay it there, it's like, does it still work? Does it still look okay? So... But I think this one's working out really well. Which one is this supposed to go? Down, down. This way. I did give this quilt top a nice hard press after we finished it. It probably could have used another pressing, at least around the edges here, to get this border on here. So some of the seams are kind of giving me a little bit of trouble, but nothing too crazy. Excuse me. It's doing okay. I'm just slowing down when I get to the thicker borders. Thicker seams. Sorry, not borders, thicker seams. And my long arm, she's so sweet and she's so kind. Not only does she iron these things like tremendously well before she loads it onto her frame, but she also goes through and snips all the threads. Like, she's just amazing at it. Like, I keep telling her, I'm like, you can leave the threads, it's fine. Like, I know they're all mine, you know. She's like, no, it's fine. She goes, I do it as I go. She goes, that way it doesn't catch on the machine too. So I get that, and so I try to snip them off before I give it to her, but I don't always catch them all. But she does a great job. Yeah, Katie, sorry, the email, the bot won't allow links in chat unless you're a moderator. So it's being stupid. Sorry about that. That's just so that we can keep all the malicious people out. You know, so they're not throwing up bad stuff. I think Dawn's on Instagram if you guys wanted to do something in the DMs on Instagram, if that would help. Brett46 says, I need to find my pillowcase doll pattern to make an angel out of. Oh, wow. That sounds like fun. Speaking of patterns, I do still have a handful of patterns that I received as a gift from the channel by a subscriber. They know who they are. Thank you very much. To them again for doing that, for donating to the channel. So if anybody is interested in any of those, just let me know. I might post a thing on Facebook about them. See if anybody wants them. Maybe I'll take a picture of them on Facebook and hand them off. I already gave away all the lighthouse ones. Those are all gone. Sorry. Edge here. All right. Go. Perfect. Oh, I'm really liking this. Like, I know I can't see the whole thing, but I am really liking this frame around it. Can you guys see the frame there? I'm really liking that. That looks really nice. And then another 5-inch on top of that. I think this is going to look really, really nice. I'm really liking it. It's always great when you like the choices that you've made. I don't know about you guys, but I'm often, questioning my choices for things. So. All right. We're going to go till 1 o'clock today, or at least 1 o'clock my time. Remember, there was a time change. But we're going to go till 1 o'clock today. Normally, we would end our live stream at 12:30. But since we started a half an hour late today, we'll run till 1 o'clock today. First Sunday of every month, we run a half an hour late. As we do virtual breakfast with our kids. Okay. I put traction socks on Nala. It may be a big mistake if it allows her to roam alone. Oh, thank you, Katie. Thank you. Yeah, I have to agree with you. It is really pretty. I'm loving this fabric line. This is Anne of Green Gables. It's the first generation of Anne of Green Gables because there's now a second generation of Anne of Green Gables out there. But that's the fabric line that all of these pieces were made from. It was a fat quarter bundle is what we used. There is no background fabric used at all. It is just fat quarters. The pattern, there may still be a link to the pattern in the description below. I can't remember if I left it there or not. But it's called Resilient because every single block is made with different fabrics. It's all the same pattern, but each block is made with different fabrics in different places. So that's the whole point of this, is that, we're as people, as individuals, we are both all the same and all different. So that's one of the reasons where I really loved this particular pattern, is not only because the pattern itself was really neat and it was really going to showcase these fabrics, but I liked the message that it was giving out too. That we're all of us, every single one of us is both the same in a lot of ways, but also very different in a lot of ways too. But we can all come together and create this beautiful, beautiful quilt, this beautiful life for each other, things like that. So that's kind of why I thought it was really neat to do that. It's like we're going to have a seam right at the seam for this other piece here, which is kind of neat. You don't see that happen very often. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. Let me go ahead and trim this up. And I still have quite a bit left here. Oh, not as much as I was expecting. I was expecting more. There's only two strips left. Wow, I was expecting there to be more. So we needed about 6 strips for this. So this strip set here will now go into our scrap busting boxes. I will put this in that drawer. Oh. All right. Loving this. So let's go ahead and finger press this open real quick, just so that it lays a little bit flatter for us when we go to add our other border on. Really loving this. Really, I'm really glad with this. It fits the vision that I had for it, so that really makes me happy. It really breaks it up the way I was hoping that it would. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that great? So this is the top, so it actually goes like this. It goes this way, but I love that. I really, really like that. Even with the darker fabrics, like this is the darkest fabric I have in the whole quilt. It's dark green. And it's hard to see on the camera, but it's a dark green. But even with that, you can still very clearly see. Jerry says, Danny, give me that quilt top, please. I am loving this. I think it looks beautiful. There is the pattern for it. Thank you very much for Terry for throwing that pattern up there. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. It's beautiful. It's really pretty. So let's go ahead and get that 5-inch one on there now. I'm just finger pressing this open so that it lays a little bit nicer for us when we're trying to attach the 5-inch to it. I'm really happy with this. Love these colors. The purples and the greens are my favorite colors. If I had a spare bedroom in my house, which I technically do, even though Taylor's in it right now. But if I had a spare bedroom, this would definitely be a great quilt top to put on that spare bedroom. For sure. For sure. It would be so pretty. Right up my alley for colors that are my favorites. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this quilt yet. No clue. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I don't know if I'm going to give it away. I don't know if I'm going to sell it. I don't know yet. I have no idea. Good. I'm glad to hear that she's eating well, Terry. Terry has adopted a senior dog from a friend of hers who's no longer able to take care of her due to health issues. And 16, didn't you say, Terry? 16? JD, I'm glad to hear you're doing a bit better. I apologize. I should have asked you that to start with, and I didn't, and I should have. But I'm glad to hear that you're doing better. Last edge here that I got to finger press, and then we're going to start on the other border. I'm so happy with the way this looks. So happy. Looks so nice. She will be 16 on January 3rd. Wow. That's amazing. That's really cool. The oldest dog I owned growing up was a purebred collie. Lassie, for those of you who are familiar. Purebred collie, and she passed away when she was 20. I was 22. I'd had her since I was 2 years old. All right, so there you go. This is the bottom of the quilt, but you can still see the borders. So we're going to start at the top again, just like we did before. We're going to put that big chunky border on now. But first, we got to put the border together. That's right. First, we got to put it together. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to set this to the side for now. Let's get these pieces on here. Hopefully I have enough. I do have a little bit of extra fabric left, so if it comes down to it and it turns out that we don't have enough, that's going to be okay because we have a little bit of extra. So a little bit of extra. Let's go ahead and sew these up now. Okay, take this one, flip it this way. Oh, her litter mate passed in January at 15. Oh gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. Was that wasn't Sebastian, was it, Terry, or was that somebody else? My back pain goes right through me to my stomach like a sword. Yes, it does. I have similar back pain. I understand the problems. My legs actually go numb. They go completely numb, which you would think that something going numb wouldn't hurt, but that is the exact opposite of what actually happens. They go numb, and it's severe pain. Hip, legs, the whole thing all the way down. I've had to have surgery on my back once already, but I suspect I will likely end up needing another one. Yep, numb with pain. Yep, exactly. Yeah, you would think that going numb means that it would be pain-free, but that's not the case at all. That is not the case at all. Okay. Seems like there were more watching yesterday than I thought. Friday's live didn't do well for some reason. Hopefully things will improve as long as I can do the lives. I'm sure the bot has reminded everybody already, but just in case you haven't, if you could just do me a favor real quick and hit that like button for me, I'd really appreciate it. Especially those that are watching after the stream or lurking, if you wouldn't mind hitting that button for me, I'd appreciate it. Made bigger desk chairs. Katie, I bought mine from Uline. I did not buy mine from an actual furniture store. Mine is it's a wide bottomed chair. It's a wide bottomed chair. It's got a higher weight rating to it as well.
But that's where I bought mine from. It was about the same price as you would pay for any other normal chair from anywhere else. It's about the same price. But I like it because it's got a nice wider bottom on it. Yeah, so that's where I got mine. Mine it's a desk chair. It's an office desk chair, but I bought it from Uline. It's fairly comfortable to sit in for long periods of time. The bottom on it is a nice cushion really nice cushion on it. In fact, I liked it so much that I ended up buying a second one for myself for my work, for my office. So I actually sit in this chair, not this specific chair, but a chair just like this in my office all day long because I liked it so much. So if you guys are looking for a chair to sit in and you need something that's a little bit wider, a little bit sturdier, a little bit more, robust, I recommend them. I think they're great. I don't know if you can get them in Greenland. I don't know if that's available in Greenland, but I do know that it's available in the States. All right, so let's go ahead and get these ironed up now. Turn the iron back on. Probably cool down for a minute. Yeah, Terry, that is exactly how I let my channel do things too, is I let it grow, like I said, organically, completely natural. I don't force it. Very rare do I ever pay attention to any of the analytics for my channel. It's just not my thing. I do pay attention to my subscriber count only in that I like to make sure that I'm not losing too many subscribers at one time, because I do know that YouTube likes to unsubscribe people at random, which is kind of annoying. So I do pay attention to that, but otherwise I really don't pay attention to it. There's a lot of people out there that are like, oh yeah, if you're not getting enough likes or whatever, change your thumbnail or do this or that. I ain't got time for that. Which adds to the pain. Yeah. No, this one, I'm short. I'm not very tall. I'm only 5'4", 5'3", something like that. So I'm not very tall, and I have a wide backside. It's pretty wide. And so this chair works really well because it doesn't hit me in the back of the thighs. It hits me at the back of the knees, which is where you want it to. But it's got a nice wide bottom on it. But yeah, I really like it. But I don't know if it would be available to you in Greenland. But it's by Uline. 2 inches taller than me. Wow. No need to rub it in. I'm just kidding. I'm used to being short. It's fine. You know what they say, the best things come in small packages. But I've really liked this chair. I was skeptical about it at first. My other chair, it didn't have the wide bottom on it. I just felt very restricted. It just wasn't very comfortable for long periods of time. This one, I really like this one. I'm very comfortable in it for longer periods of time. Like I said, I actually bought one for my office at work because I liked it so much. And it's much cheaper than a traditional office chair that you would buy, like from an office supply store. I want to say here in the States was like $300, which I know sounds like a lot of money, but when you're in your chair all day, every day, all day long, it's kind of like your mattress. When you're in it for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, $300 isn't so bad. I've got the gray one here in this office, and then I've got a black one at work. I did have to get a new air cylinder, the hydraulic cylinder, for the one at work because it broke, but they sent it to me for free. Like I was out of warranty. I said, I think it's out of warranty. I'm not really sure. And they're like, is this the piece that you think is broken? And I said, yeah. They're like, we'll send you a new one. You'll have it tomorrow. I'm like, seriously? So I really appreciated that. So that was really nice. My mom always said that when I got taller than my older sister, bummer, I couldn't even win, not even once. My younger sister is much taller than I am. Much, much taller. She is probably, she's probably at least 4 to 6 inches taller than I am. At least. I got the short genes in the family. My both of my grandmas were, my grandma and my great grandmother were very short on my mom's side. My mom is taller than me. She's 5'10", I think she said. 5'8", 5'10". She is taller than I am. My mom was 5'3", my dad was 5'11". Good things come in small packages. That's right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Your oldest daughter is my height. It was funny. I just went to the doctor recently for my yearly checkup, and she measured my height, and she told me I was, I think, 5'5", 5'3" or 5'5". I can't remember now. It doesn't really matter to me, but I think she said 5'5". And I just laughed, and I go, can I get that in writing? Because most people don't believe me. So it's laughing at me. She laughed at me. Oh, I think it's 5'3". I think that's what it was. It was 5'3". No, I'm 5'3". My mom's 5'5". That's what it is. And my sister is 5'11". And then Mr. Wizard is 5'11" and 3/4. But I'm short. I've always been short. Never been very tall. That's okay. I don't mind it. Everybody, all the gentlemen at my work, I've my operations manager and one of our directors, they're like, one of them is 6'6" and the other one is 6'8", I think. They're just so tall. Like, just giant compared to me. They are just giant. I gotta tell you, this thing works really nice for ironing out those seams too. Not just the folded seams, but like the not just these seams, but the folds. It does a great job of ironing out those too. So we're just about done ironing these, and then we'll get them added to the quilt top. This says we got about 15 minutes left, so we'll probably get a couple of sides on. Maybe we'll just finish it. That way we can work on something else on Wednesday. Go. Maybe I should get that clapper. I can never get those folds out. It seems to be doing a pretty good job. Like, it really seems to be doing a good job of getting them out. Yeah. It seems to do pretty well, I think. Not just with, getting these ironed open, but also with those folds. Yeah, I'm really liking these, Terry. I keep saying it, but thank you again for the recommendation of them. They're really great. They're really really great. But being able to rock the iron back and forth, I think, is really what's doing it. Because it's. I mean, it is still there a little bit. I can still see it a little bit, but it's like almost gone. So thank you again for that. I recommend it to anybody that has the funds to be able to purchase it. It's really helpful, especially for open seams. I mean, I think that's what it's intended for, is for the open seams, but it really seems to work well with anything, really. I'm really happy with it. But yeah, these hard fold lines does not seem to be any match for it. They come right out. I can still see them, like because it's like a permanent indent in the fabric, basically. But I can still see it on the back, but I don't see it at all on the front. Not at all. So I think it's doing okay. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this back up here. I'm just going to throw it on the floor again anyway, so I don't know why I'm doing this, but it is what it is. It's fine. Okay. Spin it around this way. Since I don't need any more, that can go back up there. This can get turned off again. Grab this. These here are scraps now. These go back in here. Sweet. So if you guys are okay with it and you can hang out with me, I think we'll go ahead and finish this one up. It says we've got about 10 minutes left of our normal stream time, so we'll probably need an extra 10 minutes or so to finish it completely. But if you guys are okay hanging out with me for an extra 10 minutes or so, I'd love to finish this one up with you. And then that way we can work on something else. I was looking at it on the camera so that I could see which way it was up. So we can hang out for a few extra minutes and get it taken care of. And then that way on Wednesday, when we are back to WIP Wednesdays, we can work on something else. I've still got a bunch of other projects to work on. A couple of other quilt tops that need borders, so and if you guys got somewhere you gotta take off, I completely understand. I'm gonna be in here all day cutting up fabric because I gotta cut our stuff for our School of the Year project coming up next week. Not this week, but next week. Who knows? Maybe I'll turn on a members only stream for a little bit this afternoon. We'll have to wait and see how things go. This one should go together pretty quick because there's really no seams. I should be able to sew this one up pretty fast since there's really no seams at all. I love the feel of this fabric. So if you guys are into name brand fabrics, this is Glass something. Henry Glass Company, I think it's called. Really nice, high quality fabrics. Like, it feels so nice. So if that's something you guys are, looking for different brands, Henry Glass Company, really nice fabrics. Not a brand I've ever heard of before, but I'm not disappointed. I'm definitely not disappointed. The other good news is that the seams don't line up either. The seams of the two fabrics, they don't line up right at each other, which is good. So the fabrics were different sizes. I didn't even think about that until just now. I'm like, oh crap. But they don't line up. They're close. They're very close to each other, but they don't line up. So that's good. That would have been a little weird. I'm going on the road tomorrow, so sewing all day today. Fun, Carrie. I'm assuming you're going someplace. I'm hoping you're going someplace fun to be on the road all day. Visiting friends or family, or maybe just a road trip. Could be fun. Oh, there's that seam. There's a seam. But yeah, this Henry Glass Company fabrics really very nice, high quality fabrics. They feel really nice. They got a nice feel to them. Nice woven density. Oh, appointments, then some fun. Oh yeah. A lot of your Halloween fabrics are from Henry Glass. Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, these are really nice. I'm really liking these. Finger pressing these open since I got them here. I do like it. What do you guys think so far? The two borders. I like that. I think that looks really nice. I think it really breaks up the crazy of the quilt top. I like that so far. So let's go ahead and get the other side on. Top and bottom first, and then the sides. Go. Top and bottom, and then the sides. I think I might have cut it just a little bit funky. All right. Got it started. So again, when you're doing these long sewing lines, try not to stretch anything. Try not to pull on anything. Just kind of hold it. And Donna Jordan would tell you to hold it all the way back here so that you're not stretching anything. And that's kind of, I tried to follow her advice because obviously she knew what she was doing. And so I would hold it all the way back here. Just make sure that the line is straight. Just let it go through. Let the machine do the work. Is all that fabric Henry Glass or just the green border? So the green border was Henry Glass. The purple was Henry Glass. And I think the brown, I think it was all Henry Glass. I really do. Let me see. Hang on. Yeah, this was Henry Glass. And, okay, so the purple was not. The purple was Marcus Fabrics. But the two greens. So this is like a greenish brown. And then the green was Henry Glass. The purple is not. It's Marcus fabric. The purple was Marcus fabric. So, but either way, they both have a really nice feel to them. Shabby Fabrics, MSQ, House of Paducah, Fat FQS. I usually get mine from House of Paducah. Gotcha. Thank you for throwing up that pattern again, Terry. I appreciate it. Thank you again. Alright, let me see if I can grab this one. Alright, so let's go ahead and trim this one then. Go. Let's go ahead and do this side now. We're at about 1 o'clock, so we're just going to go ahead and finish this since we just got the two sides left. That way you guys can kind of see what the end result looks like. If you have to take off, I completely understand. I do not want to keep you from whatever your plans are for today. But if you're able to hang out with me for just a little bit longer, I appreciate it. And then that way you guys can kind of see what it looks like when it's finished. Looks like I didn't do a very good job trimming this one. Oops. Oops. That catches. Did that catch? I didn't cut this one very straight, so the border's a little off. So we're gonna adjust it out just a little bit. Just a little bit off. That's all right. Oh, I'm really liking this. Really, really happy with my choices here. I truly hope that we have enough of that green fabric. I'm going to go ahead and purchase that other half yard that I was talking about. Thanks again, Terry, for throwing that link for me. Because I really feel like that's going to just bring everything together just beautifully. I'm shocked with my color choices because I'm normally not really good at picking out fabric colors. So I'm really shocked by it. Cannot believe how pretty this looks. It's busy fabric. It's busy because of the amount of colors that are in it, but they're all shades of the same colors. So it's busy, but it's also not busy. Does that make any sense? Like, does that make any sense at all? Like, it's busy, but it's not busy at the same time. Like, it's different tones, shades of the same colors. And so your eye is kind of going in a bunch of different places, but that's why I wanted to frame this out with a nice dark color to kind of give it a frame so that your eye doesn't just like keep going. That was kind of my thought process behind it. And I think that I've succeeded in doing that. And I really like this chunky border here. Can't wait till you guys get to see this corner. You can see the colors come together. I'm really, really happy with it. Right, a pleasant busy, not a dizzy busy. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going for, really. Right. Yep. Let me, I'm trying to trim this. I think it's going to be better if I trim it from the other side. So let me just pull some of this up here so that I don't have a nice... That way it can be a little bit straighter if I trim it from this side. There we go. Put this back down here, put this on my lap. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. What do you think? And I know it's not the whole quilt, it's just the corner, but what do you think? I really like it. I really, really like it. I think it really frames it out nicely. I think it gives it a nice frame. I really, really like it. Here's the other corner here. Doesn't it look beautiful? I like it. I really, really like it. I think it turned out really nice. So let's get this other corner on here. This other edge. And then we can call this one complete enough to go to the long arm. And by the time it comes back, I will have that, hopefully that extra piece of binding fabric. And I will have picked out a thread color that looks like it, that will go with it. So that I don't have to worry about that too much. I am really, really liking this one. And I really liked this one basically from the start. I mean, like, since the start of the project. Yeah, it was a little bit cumbersome with regards to having to create the color palette for it. The fabric sheet, and then all the half square triangles were painful. But I really have liked this pattern from the start. I think that it's done a fantastic job of showcasing these fabrics beautifully. And I am just really, really happy with it. Really, really happy. Yes, and the green binding, the purple backing and then the green binding, I think is really just going to be a nice contrast to it. It's really going to bring out all these colors together just beautifully. I'm so proud of myself. And I know that sounds a little selfish, but I'm so proud of myself for picking these colors out the way that I did. Like, being able to kind of give a vision of what I wanted and going with it. And I'm really, really happy with it. I think it's going to look amazing when it comes back from the long arm, because she makes everything look even more beautiful than it already is. Yeah, I think this is going to look really, really nice. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I really don't. Like, these are my favorite colors. If I were to keep it, I don't know what I would do with it, because I don't really have anywhere to display it. I don't have I think it would be too small for my bed in my bedroom. I think it would be too big to throw in the living room, because I'm already going to use my puppy's quilt in my living room. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I don't know. I don't have anybody necessarily in mind to give it to just yet. I'll have to wait and see. Maybe something will come to me. This one I kind of feel like I have a little bit of an attachment to because of the color scheme. And so I don't want to just put it up for sale, I don't think. Because I don't know where it would be going and who it would be going to and all that. Does that sound weird? Like, some of my quilts that I've made, I'm like, yeah, I could give them away to anybody. Like, they're just not, it's not that I don't like them. I do like them. I had a great time making them. They're just not, they don't have a personal connection to me. You know, this one, for whatever reason, I think it's mostly the colors and the actual fabric name, or the pattern name, that I have a connection to. And so I'm not sure what to do with this one yet. I don't know. I do not know. You should keep it and love it. Linda, this here is a ladder. I do have a ladder. This is my quilt ladder here. It's got a lot of quilts on it. I don't really have a whole lot of space in the rest of my home for a quilt ladder. My house is very tiny. But yeah, I need to find something to do. Something to display it somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I just want to focus on finishing it. I'll figure out what to do with it later. Geez, I couldn't have planned that better if I tried. There's like this much space between where I finished and the next seam. Wall hanging? It might be a bit big for a wall hanging. But, I mean, it could work. It could. It could work. I don't know yet. We'll see. Okay. Lay this one out here so I can trim it up. And then I will try and open it up a little bit more for you guys so you can actually see it a little bit more. Come on. Go. No place for anything. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have a teeny tiny little house. It's slightly bigger than an apartment. Only slightly. But it's tiny. It's not a tiny home. It's not considered a tiny home. But it's just under 1,000. It's like 1,100 square feet. My house. So it's smaller than some apartments. But it works for us, and that's all that matters. Especially now that, Mr. Wizard and I are becoming empty nesters. It's a decent sized house for 2 people. Was a little bit small for, the 7 of us when we were all in here at one time. But for just 2 people, it's perfect size. And now that Mr. Wizard and I have the extra bedrooms and are able to find our own space when we need it, that helps too, quite a bit. We only have 1 TV in the whole house. Well, I take that back. Taylor has one in her room, but otherwise, Mr. Wizard and I only have 1 TV. Look at that. Look at that. Not amazing? Like, twice as big as my house. Okay. Fair. That's fair. I mean, I know there are smaller houses out there. Yeah, so like 1,100 square feet, I think. Also, if you guys are followers of my other channel that I have, my cooking channel, which I very rarely ever post anything on. So if you're not, that's totally okay. I don't mind. I have been requested by my other daughter, Tony, to start posting more videos on that channel so she has other ideas for cooking, which I found kind of amusing a little bit. So I will likely be starting to post more things over there if I can remember to turn the camera on when I'm cooking things. It's called Home Cooking with Danny, if you're interested. If not, that's totally okay, because there's like 4 videos maybe on there. Not a whole lot. But there's been a couple of recipes that I've been asked to share. So I'm going to try my best to share more recipes over there. At one point, I did consider turning the camera on to do my applesauce recipe, but it's so simple. It would have been a 2-minute video. But I guess, it still would have been a video for my kids. Because that's why I did it. I didn't necessarily do it as a public video to, like this one, like make friends or anything else. I simply did it to be able to share family recipes with friends and family. And you guys are all my friends, so. There it is, Terry. Thank you very much for throwing that link up there. If you guys are interested in following there, go ahead. I don't post over there very often, if at all, really. But I have been asked to post specific recipes over there, so they will be showing up over there at some point in the coming weeks. What do you think? Well, it's upside down right now, but this is the bottom. I'm just finger pressing it all the way around. So we got a few minutes. Well, I have a few minutes. If you guys got to take off, I understand. I haven't even looked to see how many. 19. Not too bad. I'm trying to finger press it open so you guys can actually see the whole thing. Like, I'm trying to hold it up for you, so you'll be able to see the whole thing. So you guys can kind of see what I'm seeing, and just how amazing this turned out to be. I don't mean to like toot my own horn or anything, but I think it turned out really well. I'm really, really happy with it, and I think with the binding on it, it's going to be even more beautiful. So I really feel like that green binding is going to make everything pop really, really well. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Where is it facing up? So this is the bottom. This is the top. Lay it out here. A little bit on the table. So you guys can kind of see a little bit of what it's supposed to look like. There you go. My arms aren't long enough. I'm going to stand up here in just a second. Take my slipper off. There you go. Ta-da! You can see the border there. The fabrics. There you go. Oops. Got caught on the needle. Trying to see it. Ta-da! And then the bottom there. I love the framing. I think the framing really turned out nice. I think it did a great job. Yes, the pattern is free. Yep, it is a free pattern. It does take a little bit to plan it out. If you want to do it the way I did it, with all the fabrics being different, it does take a minute to lay it all out and, kind of plan it out. Or you can just do it in half square triangles. And just do all the blocks the same. That is up to you. But the whole point of this particular one is that everything is different. That it's all different. Well, that's kind of the point of this pattern. But yeah, I think it turned out amazing. Like, I love this so much. So much. I think that dark border and then this dark purple really just set it apart and framed it out really, really nicely. Dawn, I'm sorry. I don't know why Streamlabs did that to you, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm sure it was just hearts or something. Sorry about that. Spamming me with applause. Okay, well, yeah, that's Streamlabs for you. But anyway, folks, that is it for this one. I will go ahead and fold this one back up. Stick it back in my project folder, my project bag here, and get it over to the long arm. I have one more. Two more. I have a few more cool tops that I need to finish up and get over to the long arm. So I'll probably drop this one off at her, and then we'll just keep rotating them out as she gets new ones done. But yeah, these are all projects that we finished up before, and I'm just loving this corner, this corner right here where you see the borders. I just love that. I love the light with the dark. So much. Is the heist over? I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but I love the fabrics. I love the pattern. I'm just so happy with it. So I'm really hoping that it turns out, well, I know it will turn out just as nice as before. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this up. Go. There we go. Get it folded. There we go. Folded nice and neat. And into my project bag. I told you guys that once I'm done with a project, let's go over here. Once I have completed a project, or at least the top of a project, I move it into one of these Ziploc bags. This is a 2.5 gallon Ziploc. And so I move the quilt top into here, fold it up, of course. And then I put the backing fabric and the binding fabric in it. And then when I give it to the long arm, I just take the binding fabric out so she doesn't have to worry about it. Of course, I did have binding fabric for one of the quilts I worked on. And for now, I can't find it. So I don't know what happened to it. But I set it somewhere, and now I don't remember where I put it. So, but either way, there we go. Squeeze all the air out. So there we go. So now that one will go off to the long arm. She will quilt it, and then it'll come back here for binding. I will, like I said before, I will order an extra half a yard of that fabric. Since Terry was so kind enough to find it for me, I will order that extra half yard. I probably won't need it, but I feel like I'm kind of worried that because I added the borders on, the calculations, I did use the quilt calculator. It says I only need a half yard. There is definitely a half yard there, but I would much rather have the extra fabric just in case. And if I don't use it, then I will just throw it into our scrap busting boxes anyway. So, you know, it's not like somebody won't use it, you know. Check the shipping as always. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yep. There we go. So these pieces are extras, so they'll go into the scrap busting boxes for sure. But this is kind of the stuff that you guys will see in the scrap busting boxes. Sometimes it's little offcuts of things, and sometimes it's big yardage pieces too. So it just, you know, and like I've said before, when I make the boxes, I kind of put little pieces of yardage in every box, and I put little pieces of offcuts and little triangles, and I try and spread them out. And then I shut the boxes, and I mix them all up, and then I just slap labels on them. So I never know who's getting what. I don't play any favorites. Sometimes I will throw patterns into those boxes as well. I'll throw a pattern in there as well of something that we've worked with that maybe I don't necessarily need or want anymore. Those go out at least once a year, sometimes twice a year, and they're eligible for all of our members. So if you are a member of the channel and you've been a member of the channel for at least 3 months, then you are eligible for one of those boxes. That's not bad at all, Terry. $5 for shipping. That's not terrible. Trust me, having worked with shipping charges right now, $5 is not terrible. I think most of the time I spend about that on the thimble redemption stuff. And the Postal Service is doing holiday pricing right now too. So yeah, the thimble redemptions, the purple envelopes you guys receive with the thimble redemptions, those are usually about $5 to mail. $5 to $6 depending on the weight. Depending on what I'm mailing. So yeah, $5 isn't terrible for half a yard of fabric. So All right, friends. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me this afternoon. I really appreciate it. Sorry for the late start. Things have been kind of a little hectic today. We will be back here on Wednesday for Whip Wednesday, where I will likely be bringing another project on the channel that we're going to be adding some borders to. I've got that black and white project, fire. I don't remember the name of it now. But we'll probably be doing that one. That, or I might bring cross-stitching back on. I don't know. It just depends on what my mood feels like on Wednesday. But that's why it's Whip Wednesday, because it's just going to be kind of random. And then we are back here again on Sunday for our puppies project. Members, we will have our members-only stream on Monday. Not this Monday, next Monday, the 10th. That will be our members-only stream. We're doing every other Monday. So we'll see how that goes. And then the 16th of this month is when we are going to be starting our quilt-along, our sew-along project. We'll be working on that once a month. It's the third Sunday of every month until it's completed. That is called Framed Pinwheels. It's a Missouri Star Quilt Company pattern. You need 1 layer cake and 2 charm packs, or you need 2 charm packs that will equal up to that 1 layer cake, and then 2 more charm packs, so 4 total. For 2 of those charm packs, you want to make sure that they are at least a solid or a semi-solid fabric, preferably all in the same color. And then for the other one, the layer cake or the other 2 charm packs, they can just be kind of the same thing. Like, try and get like 2 sets of solid color, like rainbow colors or variations of colors or something like that, to that effect, so that you have at least 4 squares of each color, I think. Either way, should be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that one. That'll start on the 16th of this month. And then I'm also hoping, we'll see how things go, but I'm hoping that we get one of our block of the months that starts to ship this month as well. So we'll have to see how that works out. And then our Swirling Leaves project will be back at the end of the month. Again, it's the Friday after Thanksgiving. We will have a live stream for our Swirling Leaves project. Lots of stuff coming up here on the channel. Lots of new projects coming in because we're finishing up on a lot of old ones. So I'm really excited about that. So I already warned my long arm. I'm like, you are going to be busy with me from now until like February because I have so many things coming in. So it's going to be fun. Norfolk, this will be our last month for our Norfolk project. We're going to be finishing that up at the end of the month. So that'll be exciting as well. The Memory Bear project will show up on the 23rd. Which is the weekend of my dad's birthday. So I thought it was kind of fitting that we would start it, the weekend of the anniversary of his passing, and then we'll finish it the weekend of his birthday. So I do think I'm going to buy another thing of batting for that, just to make sure that I have 2 in case we need it. But we're going to be stuffing him and sewing him up. So that'll be exciting. I'm excited to see that. It's been a really long time since I've done something like that, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then, but don't worry if you've missed out on that project, because that one's going to be kind of long-term coming in, because I have quite a few of those that I need to make. So that'll be on, you'll see those again on Whips, and you'll see that one coming and going quite a bit, because I have quite a few of those I want to make. So they'll be back for sure. Just this particular one we will finish. So so lots and lots of things coming up here on the channel. So if you're not already, please consider subscribing to the channel, so then that way you can be part of the fun. Don't forget to go back to the homepage for the channel and click that notification bell. That will, as long as YouTube is doing what it's supposed to do, that will notify you when we do live streams, because the majority of the time our videos are live streamed. And that will notify you when we do live streams, because I like to do some things kind of at random sometimes. You can create the charm packs if you like. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. $4 now for the pattern for framed pinwheel. So that's an awesome price for that. If you guys are interested in that, $4 for the pattern, layer cake, and charm packs. And read through the pattern, maybe adjust your, pull something out of your stash. If you got some stuff out of your stash you want to use, feel free to do that too. I will be doing a layer cake and charm packs. That's the way I will be doing it. I don't know what I did with them at the moment. They were sitting right there. They're probably back there somewhere. But that's what I will be doing, so we'll see how things go. I literally just had it. What did I do with it?
Who knows? I've been losing stuff in this room lately. Like, I don't understand what's happening, but like I keep losing things. So it is what it is. Anyway, folks, thanks again so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you being here. Appreciate you spending time with me. Thanks so much for sticking it out for the extra half an hour. Really appreciate that. And I will see you all again on Wednesday. Bye for now.